Alrighty. Y'all probably want an update on the truck because I haven't given one in a long time. I've actually got a video on my phone from weeks ago that I hadn't even posted yet that I need to anyway. Um, a lot's changed with the truck, but anyway, it is what it is. So I've still only driven it twice, any considerable distance, other than just little test drives around with me tuning it and different things. But hope y'all can hear me okay. The cicadas are, yeah, really loud if it's picking that up. But anyway, let me flip this around. I'll show y'all what's going on here. Okay, so um, here at the truck, you can see right there I've got a power steering leak that I hadn't dealt with that leak yet. But yeah, I've been on a mission of stopping leaks. So much so that, yeah, you're looking at it. No engine, no transmission. So yeah, I've been busy. So what you see right here is I'm not sure what that piece is called. A divorcing unit? I don't know. Odd term. It's basically, there's a cast iron piece here. I believe it's cast. It's something that connects the 4-speed transmission to the transfer case that's behind it there. Anyway, so that's what you're seeing there. There's the bottom circle there is bearing retainer in the transmission. Top circle also bearing retainer, and the 32 spline for this model, 32 spline shaft that runs directly all the way back into transfer case. But anyway, have not cleaned the engine bay yet. I want to try to get in here and try to go around without cutting myself all to pieces and at least wash it down a little bit. I'd like to, if I can get a hold of some of this red paint, I'd touch up that area right there. But if I don't do that, I'll do like what I did on some of the other truck, and I'll clear coat over that so it won't rust away. I've already got this brake booster. Didn't have any rust on it. I got it, and that's partially for me laying my hand up there, sweating, while reaching over and trying to get to the distributor and stuff in the back side of the motor, and now it's rusting. But anyway, let me walk over here and I'll show you the transmission, then we'll go into why the engine's out. Oh, okay. I thought I'd better shoot this video because I'm fixing to put this transmission back in the truck. But it's been out a few weeks now. This thing, you can't see all of it because it's down in this tire. This is the SM465 transmission. So you got your input shaft over here, output shaft. So that's that 32 spline shaft I was just talking about. And as you can see, I've got the bearings, at least this top bearing, you can see it, bottom one's under it. I got them taped up so no dust to get in there, dirt. But I have, well, the reason I took it out is I decided to pull the engine. I am doing an engine swap. I do have the other engine now, and it's sitting in the garage. We'll go over that later, what I decided to do. But the 327 came out. I got video of it running and everything before I pulled it out. The same day I pulled it out. Actually, the day before. Anyway, I just decided that wasn't the engine I wanted in the truck. One of you in the comments had already made note of the, possibly switching it to a 350 and all in all my tuning saga with that engine. So I kept dinking with the engine, and I finally got to where I did play with the timing and on and on and on, and I wasn't happy with that motor in this truck. It's a hot rod engine, don't get me wrong. At 327 it's hot, It's a hot rod engine. It'd be great in a rat rod or some muscle car, lightweight car. But it just wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a low-end torquey motor. And that 327, it wanted to live at a high RPM range, like a race engine. So I just went ahead, bit the bullet, and said, you know what, I'm gonna put something else in here, and something built a little bit more for a four-wheel drive truck application, in my opinion. So while the engine was out, I debated on pulling this transmission out. Not that it was doing anything in what little I've drove it odd, but it was leaking like the dickens. I did change the oil in it, and when I drained the original oil out of it, it came out really liquidy, like a lightweight engine oil, which it should have like an 80-90 in it, you know, a good thick gear oil. So that bothered me. Also, I put my finger up in the drain plug of it, got some metal, just fine glitter out of it, which I, upon taking the transmission apart, discovered why I got what I did and the amount I did. Because in the bottom of this transmission is a round magnet about that big, and it's right before the drain hole plug. The drain hole plug sits right behind it. So when I stuck my finger up in there, I actually wiped that magnet, which was concentrated with any metal glitter. I didn't find any shavings, but just the small little minute particles of metal that had probably been there since it first broke itself in new and over time, you know. And I say that because I found I didn't find anything in there that bothered me. No grinding on the gears. I could really, no chunks off. No, everything looked very good in the transmission. Also lending itself to the whole, is it the original mileage on the truck question. Based on what I've seen in this transmission, I'd say it probably is. Another thing you're going to notice on this transmission, which is very odd, it's not rusted. This is cast, so you'd think this would rust real quick. This whole thing was covered in oil, and that's why I took it out. The debate was pull the transmission while the engine's out, and basically tear it apart. I mean, not tear all the covers off, and put new seals and gaskets and everything back in, which is what I did. But this has been, it's been a pain to say the least. Getting it out was not, it was easier getting the engine out than it was getting this transmission out the way I've done it. And just doing the seals, I had to do one of the PTO covers twice. The PTO cover seals is a different kind of material than the rest of the seals, and they don't take much torque or the seal will split around the bolt holes. And I split one of the seals a couple of times. It was the first one I did. So I had to order another gasket kit just to get those seals, redo that, and so on. But anyway, it's got all new seals on it except for this end one, which will go on when I mount it in, where y'all was just looking in the engine bay of the truck. It goes back here, so that's going to be a little tricky, but should be doable. This piece here, which your throwout bearing rides on, there's a seal inside here. There's a bearing behind this, and then of course a gasket here. This metal piece, I went ahead and bought it new. Probably didn't have to, but I wasn't sure if this outer sleeve that the throwout bearing rides on might have been wore a little bit or not. I don't know if I mentioned in another video. You know the reason for doing this, pulling the bell housing, doing it, because I'm doing a new clutch and everything, was when I'd hold the clutch in, and the truck sitting there idling, I could hear a little ronk, 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 ronk. So either the pilot bearing, which rides on the end of this shaft, I was hearing that, or throwout bearing deal. So anyway, all that's new, gonna be new. Got all those parts already, done test fitted them on this just to make sure before we slap this back in the truck. But yeah, the transmission looks good. Like I said, no rust on this thing. I'm suspecting it was leaking oil from day one. That's the only way I can tell. I mean, I never seen any signs that it was painted, really. I think it had leaked so much oil from up here. It was just the whole thing. It was a nightmare to clean. I mean, let me just tell you, it was a true nightmare to clean. And I still didn't get it clean perfect. I got it enough that I could get it open and not get anything inside of it, and get these new seals on and all. But brake clean was my friend on this one. But yeah, I think the thing was leaking oil from day one to the point that it coated this whole thing and kept it from rusting. And I believe the original engine probably had a oil leak on the end seal of the intake gasket, or end seal on the intake, because the bell housing itself was also extremely bad, oily. It was oily inside out. I believe that one of these seals here, gasket or seal, was leaking and allowed a lot of oil inside the bell housing as well. So yeah, got this thing cleaned up and redone. Hopefully it'll be all right. I shifted through the gears last night on it and rotate. It felt okay. So I didn't see any need in doing any kind of overhaul or anything on it. Like I said, it was just an effort to try to reseal the thing up and keep it from leaking. I may have made it leak worse than it did before, who knows, but I guess we're gonna find out. When I did drain the oil out of it, I only got 3 quarts. It should hold about 4.2 quarts. So that was another thing. It had from whenever, if it had ever been serviced, had leaked the quart out of it. Yeah, it was just an oily, gritty mess. But anyway, let's go back to the truck. I guess I could show you. I have got the bell housing here, and if I can move some of this stuff. I got it in a box here. Bear with me. I got it painted. As you can see, we are going with Chevy orange this time. No blue. So this has been repainted. I got some new parts down in this box, and that'll be going on. I don't know if I'll get to that today, but it bolts directly up here to the front of the transmission. So transmission jack there. I've had to buy a lot of miscellaneous tools and parts for this effort, but I hope it's worth it in the end. So let's walk back up to the truck and talk about it for a second. Okay, well, it's bright out there. It's getting hot too. So yeah, I've already got the replacement engine. I am going to sell the 327. I'm going to wait till I got that other engine in here and running and hopefully okay. But I've got to do some seal work on the or gasket work on the new engine, so I haven't got to any of that yet, and just fitting a lot of stuff on it. I've got a garage full of parts and stuff to work on it, and like I said, ever since this transmission come out, that's kind of been the effort, was you know, I had hoped a quick turnaround. We're probably 3 or 4 weeks into this transmission now. So I hope I don't mess anything up and it has to come back out, because it's going to be a pain. But anyway, that's y'all's update on the truck. It hasn't really gone anywhere. I don't think I've shown a video of this. I did decide to do the white wheels and the hubcaps, or the dog dish hubcaps. I managed to source a pretty good set of dog dish hubcaps, and then those are the original wheels. I sanded on them, cleaned them up, and got them done. I clear coated the whole inside of the bed. You can see the tailgate here also did. It's got a nice wet looking finish to it. Here's some of the seals, the gaskets for the transmission. So this was the original set, which this gasket's got 2 little tears on it, brand new. So it turned out good that I had to get this PTO gasket, this black gasket in here, because I got another one of these. So I'll be using that here in a little bit. I got a Holly bed mat. It says Holly on it right there. It's a nice, thick, heavy, I'm talking about heavy bed mat. I clear coated the bed. I didn't really want to scratch that clear coat up, so I got this bed mat for a long bed in here. It's a exact fit. It's cut out wheel wells and everything, so it covers the whole bottom. Got a bed cover on here, if I've showed that, so that's on. I've got some stainless steel bed rail caps and stuff on here. The spare tire, I went ahead and painted it too. I need to get it in the bed, but I've done a lot of other little things, but this engine swap is turned out to be a monster. But I think it's going to come out looking pretty good if I can ever get it back rolling again. But just another look at these. Getting these dog dishes were kind of interesting. There's some different styles of these. That there's actually 2 styles of these that look almost identical, but one doesn't have this piece that sticks out for the 4-wheel drive hub. It's more flush, but it's still an open 4-wheel drive hub. These, when I found them, I think this one was more common to be on like a K10, K5 Blazer. So I don't know if these ever actually came on the trucks or not. So these may actually be Blazer, but I liked them because the hub in here is rusty. So without painting it and then not scratching it, putting the wheel on, because it just goes over that, these kind of cover that up. So anywho, I guess that's your update on the truck right now. Some of you may have been wondering what happened to me. So long story short, I decided to do this engine swap. So yeah, but it is what it is. Keep pressing forward and try to get it done. Hopefully it turns out for the better. But anyway, I'll do a video of the engine here eventually. Let y'all see what I decided to go with, give you some specs on that. And yeah, that's that. Anyway, there's your update. Thanks for watching. See ya.